A win is a win. A win is a win. I don't care what y'all say. A win is a win.
For years, we've been terrified of animatronics. But have you ever once considered that maybe, just maybe, the animatronics are the ones who should be afraid of us? Internet, welcome to Food Theory, the show that knows that you can't spell animatronic without P-I-Z-Z-A. Hold on, in case you're new here, let me catch you up. I like pizza, I like animatronics, and I like murder. Alright, probably should have phrased that last one better, but you know what, we're just gonna roll with it. Anyway, there's a natural order to the universe that says whenever robotic animals are inside a dining establishment, horrible tragedy shall follow. Enter Chuck E. Cheese. Since opening back in 1977, Chuck E. Cheese has been the fever dream of kids everywhere. Place is basically a 6-year-old's equivalent of having a birthday in Vegas. Another round of sodas over here because somebody just set a new high score in Whack-A-Frog and I am rolling in those tickets, baby. Here's a token for your trouble, sweetums. Also, while you're at it, hit me up with some of those balls. I got a date with Big Bertha tonight. That's the arcade game where you throw balls into a woman's mouth until she reaches the point of obesity. Candy, games, pizza, I mean, what's not to love? Oh yeah, them. You see, Chuck E. Cheese was the creation of Nolan Bushnell, co-founder of the video game company Atari. The idea was to create a restaurant that doubled as a carnival, a place where families could play together while also experiencing the newfangled entertainment medium of video games for the first time. The reason for it being a pizza place was threefold. Pizza was easy to make and required few ingredients, it took a while to cook, which allowed families to spend time playing games, and 3, can't really screw up pizza. Well, until of course your restaurant produces some misshapen pies and is suddenly suspected of recycling old slices from other tables. Something that we've talked about in a previous episode. If you go check it out, make sure you say hi to Amy down in the comments. She'll appreciate it. She was a trooper for testing out way too many pizzas in that episode. Anyway, the animatronic performers that became synonymous with Chuck E. Cheese were more of a byproduct of Nolan's fascination with Disney, specifically the Country Bear Jamboree show. Clearly, the strategy was working for Walt over at his Disneyland park, so why not bring those same robots to budget-conscious families that wanted entertainment but couldn't make it all the way out to Southern California? And the rest, as they say, is history, living on in the collective nightmares of 80s era children and Gen Z indie horror games. Eventually, home video game consoles as well as the lackluster, potentially recycled pizza got the better of the franchise and it went bankrupt in 2020, nearly $1 billion in debt. I think most of us are aware of at least some part of that story, right? But what I think you may not know is the lore of these characters, because there is lore, and let me tell you, it is dark. For years, we've been talking about how scary Chuck E. Cheese is, but in reality, Chucky isn't the one on stage that you should be most afraid of. In fact, once you know the real story, it's clear that Chucky is the actual victim here. A literal hostage that's being forced to stand up on stage and perform, and when he stops, he dies. So grab a napkin and start dabbing up the excess grease off your misshapen pizza as I tell you the tragic tale of Chucky and the man who's murdering his co-stars. Our story begins with a coyote. You see, Nolan Bushnell's Family Carnival restaurant wasn't always meant to have a rodent as their mascot. As the story goes, the main mascot was originally meant to be a coyote, but when Bushnell learned that the costume that he had bought for his main character was actually that of a rat, well, he had to do some quick thinking. He decided to rebrand the entire thing from Coyote Pizza to Rick Rat's Pizza. Now, obviously that's gonna cause you a couple of problems since, I don't know about you, but most restaurants don't really want to associate with rats. So his marketing team suggested doing something that they thought might be a bit more appealing to hungry customers. Chuck E. Cheese. Sure, he's still a rat, but now at least they're not throwing the fact that he's a disease-ridden rodent in your face. Apparently they went with Chuck E. Cheese as the name because it forced people to smile when they said it. And let's be honest, forcing a smile is about as much happiness as you're gonna find in this place anyway, so good call! It's also worth noting that Chucky didn't start off as the hip skateboarding mouse that he is today. Instead, he was a rat from New Jersey, smoking a cigar and roasting the other members of the animatronic cast. A collection of characters that feels so random it was like they were playing a drunken game of Mad Libs. You have yourself a chef, a dog, a pig. Alright, all that makes makes sense, but also a purple alien, the moon, a lineup of singing mops, a literal building, a hippo with jiggle physics, and an old man known simply as Mr. Cooch. Part of the reason so many feel out of place here is that they were obtained from a rival animatronic pizza place and then retrofitted into the style of Chuck E. Cheese. And let me tell you, the videos online of how to restyle these characters is scarier than anything FNAF has produced in the last 7 years.
Welcome to the Concept Unification installation tape. This tape is meant to supplement the installation manual, not replace it. Now Mitzi, starting with her sweater, wig, dicky, mask, ears, pigtail mount, hands,